And we're live.
Trump is still super popular. You can't really speak out against him. But they don't really want to take a side now because everybody's trying to prepare for a post-Trump world, and you don't want to like have everybody hate you before that happens. So they're just waiting for him to be gone.
You'd think the Trump train would be in full effect because, you know, they're all on the no-fly list.
Yeah.
Boo! What's Trump's next move? That's something I wanted to cover tonight. Like, I think his next move is write a book, big book tour, lots of rallies, fucking keep it rolling. Try to cash in. I think maybe he also starts a media company of some kind, and like those two things are very incestuous with one another. His book tour, his rallies, his media company. His media company covers his book tour. His book tour talks about his media company, and he rolls that into being quite successful.
I'm halfway on board. The media company thing in particular, I think it's really complicated to start a media company, to get the licensing, to get that thing off. It's a complex venture to run, more so than the real estate he's done before, which was smaller, I guess, than it seems. And so what would be a better move for him is to just be well paid to appear on someone else's media venture, right? You know, he could be a regular contributor to Fox or Newsmax or One America News or something like that. Go on there, pimp his book, pimp his fundraising activities, spout his opinions, and see how it goes. I think the bloom will come off, the guild will come off the rose, something like that. I think he's not going to look as good as an ex-president. I don't think he'll have the same appeal. I might be wrong. I could be wrong. Maybe I just never saw his appeal like some people did. But I just think that without the podium and the White House behind him, he's going to seem like a regular, like a low information voter who's just too prominent.
I agree with the fact that he's not going to do anything, but I disagree with the rationale, actually, because even before Trump didn't have the podium, right? Trump was the start of that birther movement. A lot of people forget that, but like that was him, and that was before he was in any elected position. Now he was still probably riding off the popularity of the
Apprentice,
of like being the apprentice and everything. So yeah, I think that I agree. He's probably not going to do much, but I don't think it's because it's difficult and all that shit. He's probably just not going to do much because I think it's too much effort. I think he's just tired of it. Like shit is crazy, I think.
But I think he likes making money, and he'll find a way to cash in on his popularity. The book, I think, is money. I think he's definitely going to have a book ghost written for him. And then after that, I think he really enjoys the rallies, but they might get embarrassing fast. You know, when he starts doing rallies for practically no reason and 1,000 people come, it's going to feel like that Oklahoma event or whatever it was.
You just start charging for them, and then the smaller group is more valuable, right? Like, if you have $1,000 a plate dinner to benefit the Trump Foundation, and get a couple hundred people in there, and just do a couple of those a year, and I think he's gonna. I think the rallies will still be big. People fucking love that guy. They think of him as like an entertainer / stand-up comedian. Like, people really like him. And look, I've seen it in person. He's entertaining. Like, when you're there, it's fun.
But the rally, if he's allowed to use media again, then yeah, he would have huge rallies. But if he can't promote what he's doing on Twitter, YouTube, Google, like whatever, like they can kind of hamstring him there.
Yeah, so platforming really works.
You can't. Oh, I saw like a bank was like shutting down a couple of his accounts with like millions of dollars in it. It's like,
was it a bank or was it Stripe?
It wasn't.
Stripe said they weren't going to handle payments anymore, I think, and then the Deutsche Bank or whatever said they were going to do business.
You're
with
right.
him.
You're right.
All it would take is whatever payment processor he was using to just say no.
They already have.
That's what I'm saying, is that this is why if the powers that be in this country decide that they no longer want him to be able to have rallies and do that, they can just deperson him like they have online. And like, how's he going to get his message out? Mm-hmm. Like it just won't get out.
I don't know how hard it would be to take did PayPal drop him? Like, there's always another Stripe. You know,
PayPal will drop him. His hosting service will drop him. Cloudflare would drop him. Like, all it takes is a couple people,
a couple key ones. Deplatforming works. Like, Milo got deplatformed, and it just like, I think a lot of people think maybe they're bigger than the platform they are, that they're bigger than the platform that they're on, and that, or I'm on so many platforms that if any one drops, I'm okay. But then they lose two of them or so. Milo without Twitter is a past tense thing. Alex Jones He's not gone, but he's not nearly part of like the conscious that he was when he was on YouTube and all the bigger ones. Glenn Beck, he was on Fox News and he was like the leader of the Republican Party in some ways. He started the Tea Party moment with the hats he was Trump before Trump. Now where's Glenn Beck? Just a radio show I never hear of. You know, he's the guy with the Cheetos on his face. It's just weird. Deplatforming has a huge impact, and he's been deplatformed. So we'll see where that goes. He's going to struggle. And Snapchat deplatformed, like, so Twitter dropped him. I think Facebook dropped him. Then I'm not sure about YouTube, but Snapchat dropped him. And I'm like, did he even go on Snapchat yet? Has he been on? Like, they're like, no, you can't come here. They closed the door before he could get in.
At some point, it was like companies virtue signaling to each other. Yeah, I saw the Spotify one. I'm like,
with Joe Rogan and Nervous Jones was on the episode, right? I think they were saying they didn't want to host it or something.
I don't know about that. I was saying that Spotify banned Trump, and it's like, what the fuck? Spotify, the music company?
Mm-hmm. They're podcast too.
Yeah.
No, he's not going to start a podcast. He likes waving his arms and being on TV.
That's it. His format is working a crowd. That's where Trump excels. If you read his speeches, they're not good. If you really, they're there. His format is working the crowd. The people love him. That's where he excels, not on TV.